Hey guys, welcome to a new episode. Today I'll be talking about the Vittala Temple, Hampi. As the epicenter of Hampi's attractions, Vittala Temple is the most extravagant architectural showpiece of Hampi. No amount of words can explain this spectacle. The temple is built in the form of a sprawling campus with compound wall and gateway towers. There are many halls, pavilions and temples located inside this campus. Vittala, after whom the temple is known, is a form of Lord Vishnu. This aspect of Vishnu was worshipped in this part of the country as their cult deity by the cattle herds. The temple was originally built in the 15th century AD. Many successive kings have enhanced the temple campus during their reigns to the present form. You can even see the remains of a township called Vittalapura that existed around this temple complex. The highlight of Vittala Temple is its impressive pillared halls and stone chariot. The halls are carved with an overwhelming array of sculptures on the giant granite pillars. The stone chariot located inside the campus is almost an iconic structure of Hampi. One typically accesses the campus through the eastern entrance tower, next to which the ticket counter is located. On entering this massive tower, the first thing that draws your attention would be a series of compact platforms along the central axis of the campus. At the end of these platforms stands the stone chariot. This, in fact, is a shrine built in the form of a temple chariot. An image of Garuda, the eagle god, was originally enshrined within the sanctum. Garuda, according to Hindu mythology, is the vehicle of Lord Vishnu. Thus, the Garuda shrine facing the temple's sanctum is symbolic. It may appear and sometimes even referred to as a monolithic structure. In reality, this stone shrine was built with many giant granite blocks. The joints are smartly hidden in the carvings, other decorative features that adorn the stone chariot. The chariot is built on a rectangular platform or feet so high. All around this base platform is carved with mythical battle scenes. Though the chariot is not resting on it, the four giant wheels attached mimic the real-life ones, complete with the axis shafts and the brakes. A series of concentric floral motifs decorate the wheels. It appears from the marks on the platform where the rest of the wheels. The wheels were free to move around the axis. You can still see the remains of the painting on the carvings of the chariot, probably because it was relatively protected from the natural wearing elements. The undercarriage of the chariot spots one of the best preserved specimens of this kind of paintings. It is believed the whole of the Vittala Temple's sculptures were once beautifully painted in a similar fashion using the minerals as a medium. In front of the chariot, two elephants are positioned as if they are pulling the chariot. In fact, these elephants were bought from elsewhere and positioned here at a later stage. Originally, two horses were carved in that position. The tails and the rear legs of the horses can be still seen just behind these elephant sculptures. A broken stone ladder once gave access to the sanctum is kept between the elephants. You can still spot the marks on the floor and the door sill where once the ladder stood. In front of every temple, there is a bazaar or market. Here, it is called the Vittala Bazaar. It is 945 meters, almost a kilometer. It was made especially for trading horses. The Mongolians, Arabs, Portuguese used to come here with trained horses and trade. On the right side, there is a water tank called Pushkarani. It is common to have a Pushkarani on every big temple. Yearly once, on an auspicious day, there will be a procession for the festival. the idol from the temple taken there and offered prayers and placed in the middle of the tank. Pilgrims gather around the idol and offer prayers, flowers, and take back the holy water to their homes. Garuda is the eagle present in every Vishnu temple because Garuda is Lord Vishnu's vehicle. Inside the chariot there is a carving of Garuda. It was painted in green and red colors. This hall, particularly damaged, is still awe-inspiring. Facing the stone chariot, a series of steps flanked by elephant balustrades gives access to this elevated open hall called the Mahamantapa, the Great Hall. The balustrades on the east and west porch of this hall are more dramatic, with giant lion yallis fighting the relatively dwarf elephants. The Mahamantapa stands on a slightly highly ornate platform. This fluted platform is carved with a series of floral motifs. The lowermost of its chain of horses, its trainers, and the traders. The Mahamantapa contains 4 open halls. The south, north, and east ones are still intact. The central western hall is collapsed, probably due to the arson that followed the fall of the capital. The main highlight of the Mahamantapa is its richly carved giant monolithic pillars. The outermost of the pillars are popularly called the musical pillars. These slender and short pilasters carved out of the giant pillars emit musical tones when tapped. Probably these do not belong to any standard musical notes, but the musical tone of the vibes earned its name. The unmindful curiosity of the visitors has damaged many of these pilasters, and tapping on them is banned for the sake of preservation. It was built by King Krishnadevaraya in 1516. He had 2 queens, Chinnadevi and Tirumala Devi. Chinnadevi was famous professional classical dancer, courtesan. There are 56 monolithic pillars in the hall. They have small sub-pillars. These small pillars are the musical instruments. During the performance by the queen, musicians stood near the pillars with sandalwood sticks. By hitting all the pillars in a particular rhythm, you can hear melodious music called sapataswaras. The hall was covered with curtains, and you can see rings on top of the ceiling. The Eastern Hall, which is called the Musicians' Hall, is notable for sculptures of musicians on the pillars. Each of the pillars surrounding this hall is sculpted with musicians, drummers, and dancers. The pillars are not hollowed. These are solid stones. Due to the great engineering geniuses in that period, the pillars are still producing the music. The place between the pillars branches into heavily ornate corbels terminating with lotus busts. The northern hall is surrounded by a series of pillars with the Narasimha, the main lion incarnation of Vishnu, themes. The most notable ones are that of Narasimha slaying Hiranyakashipu on his lap. Prahalada is seen sitting at the base in a praying posture. The ceilings of the halls too are of interest with the lotus-like carving Samyala Mantapa, the ceremonial marriage hall. In the southeast and the pillared cloisters all around the enclosure wall. Sit back and relax while you enjoy this beautiful Vittala Temple in Hampi. It's absolutely